There's no penalty called. There's no penalty committed.
No, that is correct. Yeah, that's well said. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Goes over to the sidelines now.
So it's going to be 3rd and 14 Saints after the incompletion.
Break the huddle, come up to the line of scrimmage.
Lytle starts 1 for 2 for only 1 yard
in the backfield.
And Johnny Sewell.
Saints are going to go trips to the near side and 2 to the far side. Lytle with a quick snap, looks to throw, rolls to his right. Now tucks it back inside, still maneuvering his way. He's got a wide open Sioka trying to make the catch, and he does. Up across the 35 to the 36-yard line.
If there's one guy on the Saints offense that you would like to cover, you'd think it'd be Rocco Sioka at this point, but somehow, some way, he was able to escape coverage in the secondary of the Concordia Cadets, come wide open, and Brendan Lytle was able to scramble around long enough to find him.
Yeah, kudos to Lytle on that play. The pocket presence, as he did not use his head, stepped up to lead the pressure and made the pass. Now here's a first down pitch. Big hit delivered and then almost ushered out of bounds late, but that was KJ Tippmann on the carry.
And they went speed option, did the same. Cam Johnson, number 8, came over there from his defensive back. I think he's their strong safety, and he laid a lick on KJ Tippmann over by the sideline.
KJ hops up like it was nothing, and here we go. 2nd and 7 for the Saints. Dwenger converted on their first 3rd down, trying to keep this drive going. Here's Lytle. He's going to be a quarterback keeper up the middle, and he sidesteps one defender and falls forward across the 45-yard line. He is close to a Bishop Dwenger first down.
And number 16 for the Cadets, Cooper Harris, middle linebacker, thought he had Lytle in his grasp, and Lytle just kind of sidestepped him and kept it going, and is able to pick up the first down.
Yeah, it took about 5 or 6 times of Lytle making the first down motion before the referees agreed with him.
He will certainly make that call for them if they allow it.
Yes, all night long, more than willing. So it's a 1st and 10 Saints. They have advanced the ball up to their own 47-yard line. This started inside their own 10.
Apparently we've got a problem.
Here comes Lytle rolling out to his right. He's got a man open at Sam Campbell. Across midfield up to about the 45-yard line of the Cadets.
I wondered if there was going to be a flag at the end of that play. He got thrown around, and it looked like a horse collar tackle, I believe.
3 yards that time.
Either a horse collar or a face mask.
Absolutely.
Tough to tell on the other side of the field.
He's frustrated.
I think we're going to get 15 on top of this.
And here's the call it is, a face mask personal foul on the Cadets. And Sam Campbell making yet another play. He had 2 huge catches last week, one on their first drive that put them into Carroll territory, and then also a screen pass that he turned into a big game.
I think he's vital to their offense just because of the coverage that Sioka and O'Keefe are going to end up receiving. They've got to have an auxiliary guy, and he can be that guy for them. He's got quickness and speed and good hands, and Sam Campbell's done a nice job.
And all that as a sophomore.
34-yard.
Here's 1st and 10 Saints. Lytle looks to throw, guns it towards the sideline. He's got his man, and that's Campbell yet again. He is down to the 26-yard line, a pickup of 4 or 5 yards on first down.
Yeah, just an out route on that particular play. Really nice coverage, quite frankly, by Sam Hudson, number 25 for the Cadets, senior defensive back, but was able to make the tackle right away upon the catch, but that ball was thrown very well by Brendan Lytle, just in the right spot for Campbell to come down with it.
Lytle beginning to heat up. He had a career day last week at Carroll, 19 of 25 for 328 yards, and we didn't get to give him quite the kudos on the broadcast, but that was a Dwenger school record. Very impressive. Here's Lytle on 2nd down. He's looking to throw. He's got time. Finally passes it out into the flats and cutting upfield close to the first down. And that is Devin Tippmann on the reception.
I think that's KJ. It is KJ Tippmann. He was just the kind of the auxiliary valve, if you will, off to the far right side of the offense, kind of a emergency valve over there in case Brendan came into trouble in the pocket, and so that he was able to find him when he came under pressure and turn it into a nice play for the Saints, bringing up 3rd and about half a yard, it appears.
And Lytle helped to create that opening by stepping up in the pocket. It drew the defender towards him and opened up KJ in the flat.
One safety back now for the Bruins.
So it's going to be 3rd and about a half yard at the 21-yard line of the Cadets. Here's Lytle in the shotgun, hands off, Tittman's going to try to bust this around the corner, and a nice push from the backfield is going to give him enough yardage for Bishop Dwight for first down.
But just barely. The Cadets did a pretty nice job of following that zone play, and took him right to the ball, and Devin was able to get it by a half a yard or so, but pretty good run defense by the Cadets.
First down Saints. They have moved the ball successfully down the field on their opening drive, and have a first and 10 at the Cadet 19-yard line. We are scoreless here in a fast-moving first quarter. 3:18 to go.
Fast-moving opening quarter.
As Lytle stands in the shotgun with trips out to the far side. Here's the snap. Fakes the handoff, throws out to the far side. Campbell's got the catch, cuts inside, and gains another nice gain on first down of 6 yards.
Yeah, just an out route. He's the innermost receiver of their three wide set out to the right, and the two outside guys come out there and almost make basketball picks, if you will, on the defensive backs. Allows Sam to get open on that out route, and nice first down play to pick up 5.
15-yard line. Jaden Hill comes
Lytle's
in now.
passes have come in the short variety, other than the completion to Sioka, but you get the feeling he is content to take what the defense is giving him.
Absolutely.
Second and 5. Lytle's going to roll the near side this time, guns it, and that one's too hot to handle for Campbell coming across the formation.
Same exact play they just ran to the other side. The difference this time, he's throwing on the run to his left, and he quite frankly didn't get squared up right there with the shoulders to his receiver.
Wow, there was
It's going to bring up a third and 5 for the Saints. 2:32 to go in the opening quarter. Your score 0-0. Saints and Cadets. Saints have to be thinking cautiously here. They're in field goal range.
Like he had tickets to that backfield.
As they will do everything they can to pick up the first down without risking a turnover. The spread plays out to two wideouts on each side. Here's Lytle. Fakes the handoff, looks to throw. He's got pressure, and he gets sacked.
A little bit too high.
Lytle goes down back at the 20-yard line, something we don't see very often as the Cadet defense hits home.
Matt Gagline from his linebacker spot came in there, and Concordia runs a 3-3 stack defense, so that's somewhat similar to the Saints in the sense that they have 3 down linemen, and then they've got linebackers of which you never know which one's going to blitz, so it's a little tougher for protection purposes for that offensive line.
On the fade pattern.
So Joe Belanda and the kicking unit onto the field. This one is looking like it'll be a 36-yard attempt.
Third down and long now.
Within Belanda's range. Here's the snap. Hold is down. Kick is up. Got plenty of leg on it. And it is good.
Good for
nice
what a weapon to have.
Nice kick by Joe Belanda, and he has been just money all season long on PATs, and hasn't had a lot of opportunities in the field goal department, but he cashes in. He's almost easy money for the Saints.
That he is. So the Saints go up 3-0 here.
That's a long drive. Long drive started after the penalty. They were, I think, inside their 10. And took it all the way down to pick up 3 points and used most of the first quarter in doing so.
So 3-0 Saints is your score. You know, we go back to last week against Carroll. Their first drive went all the way deep into Charger territory. They went for a fourth down, didn't convert. This time they send the field goal unit out and get 3 points.
I love this house. Me too.
Yeah, impressive. And also the Cadets had a really nice drive until they coughed it up on that under center quarterback sneak, or maybe it was a running back handoff. We couldn't exactly tell what they were trying to do play-wise, but they had a really nice drive brewing until the fumble. So both offenses have looked pretty good against stout defenses here so far.
So the Saints are getting set to kick things away.
Here at Schooler Stadium, the north side of Fort Wayne.
1:47 to go on the clock. Both teams each got one possession, and it took up almost the entire first quarter of play.
South-southeast kickoff.
So, Corey, you mentioned it there about Concordia running clock, and we sure saw an example.
Well, the Saints really gave them a taste of their own medicine. I mean, the Cadets like to use every second in their possession and win time of possession and keep the other team's offense off the field, but that's really truly what the Saints did on that drive.
Staring into that sun, I'm done with that. I forgot.
So here come the Cadets now on their second drive of the game.
7-7. Both teams coming in 2 and 3 on the year.
We mentioned that they are 3-0 with Davis under center. They're not just 3 wins. They've outscored their opponents by a combined score
and that's CJ
of 95-6 in those 3 wins. So they have been dominant wins.
I had that stat on my sheet, and you beat me to it.
Sir Hale.
We're on the same wavelength.
By the ankles, and starting field positions of 28 is a lot better than the 39.
And a jump across the line there.
Defense can do. It's got to get a little bit
That's
better.
going to be an encroachment penalty on the Saints. 5 easy yards for Concordia.
They went with a hard count there, it appeared, and the Saints, Joe Eddy from his defensive tackle position, hopped across there and made some contact with an offensive lineman of the Cadets.
Quarterback Keon Bates.
So it'll be 1st and 5 Cadets after the penalty.
Jason Dorfler wagging into the play.
Davis is going to come out in the shotgun. 2 receivers out to each side.
And carries across the 30 to
Saints
32.
moving around, trying to mask their coverage. Here's an inside handoff to Amir Drew on 1st down, and he's good for about 2 yards.
Just an inside zone play. Concordia, in their running game, only runs about 3 different running plays. They run an inside zone, they run an inside trap, and they run a speed option. So they get really good at those 3, but they don't run many plays offensively. Devin Tippman was in on that tackle, by the way.
They're a little bit more experienced.
As he is quite often by the Saints defense.
Here's the ball knocked down the line of scrimmage. Good defensive
2nd and 3 now for the Cadets.
Hands up, and you always love to see
Davis takes the snap. He's going to roll. Option play, keep it himself, and he's all the way across the 30, now the 40, 45-50. It's a foot race down the sideline. The Saints try to catch him, and they do, but not until he gets into Dwenger territory down to the 31-yard line.
He is a smooth customer. I mean, he is really poised. We just mentioned one of their 3 running plays is a speed option. That's exactly what they ran there, and I think he surprised the Saints defense with his speed and quickness when he finally got rolling on the edge there, and they didn't take very good angles at him.
Right.
In the white uniforms of the Knights, but a good play by the young sophomore.
So the Saints eventually get there to run him out of bounds, but not until he gets them all the way down to the 31-yard line.
Stringing that option out, that's what these linebackers
And Davis and the Cadets have a 1st and 10 with 1 minute to go in this opening quarter.
New set of downs now for Bates. 2
Trips to the far side for Davis. He's looking to throw, rolls out, passes to the left, almost a sidearm throw there, and completes it out to his receiver for a gain of a couple.
He's been watching Pat Mahomes on Sundays with the Chiefs, I think, on that particular play. Went a little sidearm off to the edge and makes a nice pass play again. Nice 1st down play to pick up 4.5 yards.
Yep, Cadets have been staying ahead of the sticks nicely so far in this contest. And if not for a self-inflicted wound, the fumbled snap on the first drive, they might have scored.
Ball dropping his Bates, looks, loads
I bet they won't get under center again.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty safe bet. 2nd and 6, handoff to Drew. Again, a big hole to run through, and he is inside the red zone and good for a Cadets 1st down.
Yeah, it looked like Joe Eddy in there on the tackle just went inside zone again, and he's a load. I mean, he not only has some speed and some quickness, but he is a big customer to make a tackle on. I'm not sure I'd want to get in his way. He gets rumbling and kind of reminds you of some of the almost a Jerome Bettis type of running back there.
Midfield on this
That's quite a lofty comparison.
It is. He's one of my favorites too, the bus. I won't call him the bus yet, but he rumbles pretty well.
Maybe the cab. 1st and 10 Cadets.
They're going to call it possession.
And he's going to be a quarterback keeper this time, and the Saints are there to blow it up in the backfield.
Holy smokes, he ran right into both Sam Pisa and Vinny Fiacable on the edge there, who were not fooled by that fake to the running back whatsoever.
I tell you what, Corey, you might not want to tackle Amir Drew. I don't want to get tackled by Vinny Fiacable.
Yeah, no kidding. How about that?
That's going to bring us to the end of the first quarter. So after 1 quarter of play, your score, Bishop Dwenger 3, Concordia 0.
To keep or play this, and nobody near Bates.
Went right behind him.
Assemble at the sideline here after 1 quarter of play.
Move again.
Knights
Strong
did not
first
have
quarter.
any containment that time to the outside. spotted at the
and still looking to see if they can stop the Concordia Cadets.
7-7 tie. We're in the final 44 seconds here of quarter number 1.
Cadets
Same
offense
set,
looks good,
two
Joe.
on either side of the field.
I'm sorry, Corey.
Offset to the left.
You got other people in your mind.
Still 10 on the play clock.
Nonetheless, no, they have looked good, and they're a little bit behind the sticks here with that play. I mean, they had about 4.5 yards on first down, and then on second down they take that loss on the quarterback keep, and now they're behind the sticks on 3rd and 11. So, it's a situation here where they're going to try to get some yardage, try to get a first down, obviously, but they probably have a field goal kicker that's waiting in the wings to give it a shot if necessary also.
That's right. On the first play of the game, and the receiver
So the Cadets will start this second quarter with a 2nd and 11 after the
Final 2 seconds.
quarterback sack.
Goes off, so new ball game here.
Only a loss of 1 on that play.
We'll be back for quarter 2 action.
As they brought down Davis in the backfield.
On Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM.
And we saw this Concordia team, again, shut out in the first half against Northrop, a game they took a while to get going, but their offense looks like they're in 3rd gear already tonight.
Yeah, they're legit. We talk about their ability to compete in the SAC, but I'm just thinking down the road and in the 3A tournament, I wouldn't want to face them.
Absolutely not.
They're going to be a handful in 3A this year.
Here come the Cadets on 2nd and 11. Davis is going to pitch it back. Grossman takes it on a reverse around the right side. He leads 1 tackle, and then the Saints are there to bottle him up after a gain of about 2.
John Michael Fabini was the first one there. The running back, Johnson there, eluded him. The receiver, I should say, on that reverse, but there were a whole host of Saints off the right side that were able to corral him. But so it doesn't look like they have a field goal kicker that they're comfortable with in the 35 to 40-yard range here, Eric. So it would be about a 35-yarder. So they're going to go for it. No, it's only 3rd. Okay, 3rd down. My apologies.
3rd and 9.
And he's running to the second level.
They'll put 3 receivers out to the left side, 1 to the right. Here's Davis in the shotgun. He's rolling to the left, and now he's got pressure in his face, and the Saints take him down. The ball is out. It's a fumble picked up by the Bishop Wenger defense. Is that Vinny Fiacable the other way? The 40, 35, 30. He will not be caught. Folks, into your living room comes Vinny Fiacable for a touchdown.
The scoop and score for Vinny Fiacable, and I couldn't tell the number on the. I think it was John Michael Fabini that had him sacked in the backfield. We'll have to confirm that. It was either Fabini or Pisa. It was an outside linebacker, and Vinny scooped it up, showed that his off-season speed training was put to good use, and took it to the house.
I had to double check to see if he had a wide receiver number on his jersey. He was booking it.
He looks a little more svelte and slim in that green. Maybe he'll request that from now on rather than the blue.
I tell you what a couple game stretch it's been for Fiacable. He's got an interception.
I was just going to say, look at Vinny's stat line on the season.
Interception, a rushing touchdown, and now a fumble return for a
Got to
touchdown.
be kidding.
When you can get number 62 in the end zone more than once in a season.
Talk about all-purpose.
Wow. All-purpose yardage.
You look good running that football, too, I got to tell you. The big fella can move, and I'm not making a joke here. I mean, he put in a lot of work in this offseason in speed development with the thought process of playing Division I football down the road, and you could tell it. There was nobody catching him.
No.
Very hard.
No, I mean, he was there by himself picking up the fumble, but nobody gained any ground on him as he rumbled down the field.
He's running the ball.
Wow, an interception, a running back touchdown earlier this season from the backfield. Now a scoop and score. What can't he do? I didn't think we need to devise a zone blitz and get him back into coverage now off that defensive line.
He's probably lobbying coach right now on the sideline.
He probably wants to kick. Let me kick.
Well, if he didn't already have a D1 offer locked up, I'd say send that one in.
No kidding. Top of your highlight page.
Wow. And that's just fun. That's something that gets your whole team pumped up and excited. I mean, there is nothing like that all the players on the sideline, when they saw big number 62 pick up the football, were just pumped and overjoyed seeing him make that play.
And an offensive coordinator's best friend is a defensive scorer.
Well, I tell you what, this Concordia offense has been having success. They have yet to be stopped on downs.
Two fumbles. They come in defensively, having forced 19 turnovers, and now have fumbled it twice themselves in just over a quarter.
More of a low-scoring game.
Here's the kickoff for the Saints. Fielded at the 6-yard line. And here comes Johnson on the return, upended as he crosses the 20-yard line.
One of my pregame keys was going to be that they needed to force some Saints turnovers, and just the opposite has happened here.
Wow. The go-ahead from the
Dwenger Faithful still on a bit of a high after that. And Corey, it's nice to see so many fans in the stands. We're still not back to full capacity yet, but
nowhere near, but nonetheless, nice to have some cheering folks out there.
Yep.
That's a right turn across.
Got the cheerleaders rolling. Concordia brought a nice crowd tonight, quite honestly.
Goes right side, good return across the 35.
Slowly but surely making baby steps back towards normalcy here as really the SAC for the most part has done a fantastic job of avoiding the COVID bug.
Yeah, it really has. You're absolutely right. A lot of local schools have had to deal with that outside the city, but none in the city thus far.
Other than a few individual cases here.
Correct. No full teams.
Right. First down run, and Drew gets stuffed after about a yard and a half.
Ball popped out again there, but it was after the whistle, luckily, for the Cadets. But looked like 48 was in there on the tackle. That's is that Dooley O'Connell? No, that can't be right. Who we got? Matthew Jimenez. Sorry, Matthew in there on the tackle from his middle linebacker spot. Saints have two number 48s, it appears,
now
on the
it's going to turn
roster.
the corner, 40, 45.
So it's going to be a 2nd and 8 for the Cadets.
And I like that run by Carson Clark.
Yeah, nice job.
Two receivers to the far side, one to the near for Davis in the shotgun. Here's a snap. And does a pirouette in the backfield. Tries to get rid of this football. Nearly picked by the Saints as excellent defense got in the passing lane.
Looks like Gavin Groves was in there to knock that down just about. I think he saw that coming, was thinking pick 6, and just couldn't quite get there. That was a dangerous pass from Brandon Davis.
That's just enough time.
Now another big 3rd down for the Cadets, 3rd and 8.
That could have really been danger time.
Ball at their own 23-yard line.
I'm sure Coach Manigle's standing over on the opposite sideline wondering what has happened here in the first half of this game. I mean, they have virtually done what they wanted offensively, but have nothing to show for it but a 10-point deficit.
Yeah, I'm guessing they have outgained the Saints by a fair margin so far tonight. Looking forward to those halftime stats. Here's Davis looking to throw. The defense gets to him, and he goes down for a sack.
There is the Mr. Eddie, once again, Joe Eddie in there. Does a nice job really making up for that offsides jump from earlier in the first quarter.
That time Davis does the right.
So that's going to bring up a punting situation on 4th and 17.
The blitzes, Jeff. There's so many guys coming from different areas.
Saints are set to receive this one right around midfield. Again, Saints on top 10-0 here, 9:23 to go until halftime. A very short punt, looks like it went off the side of his foot, and this one might have only made it to about the 34-yard line. So the Saints will have outstanding starting field position. And Corey, I don't want to speak too soon, but they have a chance here to go up 3 scores and really start to put some distance between them.
Yeah, this would put the serious heat on the Cadets. I mean, they have a balanced offense. They want to use the clock. They don't want to have to get back and throw on every down to try to come back from a deep deficit. So I'd say this series for them defensively is pretty vital.
So the Saints come out on the 34-yard line, 1st and 10.
They got trips on the bottom of your screen.
It's going to be Lytle looking to throw. He's going to launch one down the sideline to Sioka. Caught for a touchdown. The Saints striking on their first play of the drive, and they're an extra point away from going up 17-0 here in the first half.
Simply went with a go route and fade route down the outside, and Sioka was able to get some separation from Braden Payne, one of the best defensive backs in the conference, and Lytle hit him perfectly in stride. That was a great fade route and a great fade pass. So it didn't take long. Up 3 scores are the Saints.
Wow. Belanda is going to look to make this one 17-0. Snap is good, kick is up, and it is good as well.
I really like that play call from offensive coordinator Brody Dixon. It wasn't a sudden change situation, but it was a poor punt where they took over deep in the opponent territory, and right out of the gate he went for the jugular, and that's a great play call by Brody Dixon.
Wow. So big turn of events.
That's tied 7-7. Snyder's at Wayne. Snyder's leading that one 7-0. Carroll's up on Southside 21-0, and Leo's beating Belmont 27-0. Back up to you guys.
Thank you, Nick. We'll be checking in with Nick throughout the game, and some interesting scores out there. We'll be sure to dissect at halftime. Here comes the kickoff, and this one's all the way back to the 2-yard line. And Johnson on the return, taking it around the far side, looking for a corner. Again, he's got one, and here he goes down the sideline, 45, 50, and just tackled there across midfield. And that's the second outstanding kick return we've seen from the Cadets.
Yeah, that's the most success we've seen anybody this year have in kickoff return versus the Saints kickoff team. So they have found something on film, a blocking scheme or something that they're using that's got the Saints a little bit off balance in the special teams area.
So the Cadets will have a 1st and 10 at the Bishop Dwenger 46-yard line. And right when you thought the Cadets were hanging their heads, they make a big play and have a chance to get back into this ball game.
They need to stick with what they do. They can't get too concerned about score here. Stay balanced on offense.
Absolutely. Davis looks to throw. He's got pressure off the edge. Passes a dangerous pass into the middle for a screen, and it goes just beyond the fingertips of Amir Drew.
Yeah, that's something that I'm surprised more schools haven't tried to take advantage of, quite honestly, is a screen game against the Saints. They bring so much pressure on a quarterback that I think you've got to screen them to slow them down a little bit.
All the way up from the CYO football leagues, Jeff, to really understand.
So it's going to be 2nd and 10 Cadets.
You know, it's a nice try.
8:55 to go till halftime. Saints on top 17-0.
Long, a tough situation. You probably got to throw the ball again here.
They're going to come out with 2 receivers to each side. Davis in the shotgun. Next to Drew. Hand off to Drew. And he is going to be falling forward for maybe a gain of 2. He had pressure and a hit right at the line of scrimmage and able to fall forward for a short gain.
Initial hit there put him by 22, Sam Pisa. Sam done a nice job tonight at his outside linebacker spot, both in the run game and the pass game thus far. And Concordia is behind the chains again, 3rd and long.
Drew, that's exceptional linebacking play.
3rd and 8 Cadets. Again, spread formation. They've got a lot of talented receivers. Davis just needs some time to get them the football. Here comes the Dwenger blitz. Davis to throw. He's got pressure. Gets this one away down the sideline into single coverage, and it is underthrown for the receiver and will fall incomplete.
Yeah, that was intended for Scotty Van Landingham on the left side, just a little bit of a go route, but Adam Lee was there on the coverage, and that ball was just kind of overthrown and thrown to the inside, and I think Davis threw that probably before he really wanted to because of the pressure. Looks like they're thinking about going here on 4th down. Either they're going to go or they're going to go with a quarterback punt, one or the other.
Maybe you can run maybe a drag back.
Well, they've got a 4th and 8. Again, they are on the Dwenger 44-yard line, lining up with their offense, but we know Brandon Davis also handles punting duties.
The Looks like they're going.
They are. Here's a snap, looks to throw, he's got pressure again, steps inside, he's got a chance to get rid of this one, he does! The defender fell down and a catch across the 30-yard line for a first down. Excellent play there by Scotty Van Landingham, and the Cadets are moving the chains.
Wow, Brandon Davis did a kind of a Houdini act in the backfield there. He has done a nice job of avoiding pressure. The Saints just bring a relentless pressure on defense. I mean, multiple linebackers, you never know where they're coming from, and it is just, it's relentless if you're the quarterback, but kudos to Brandon Davis for calmly staying in there, eluding that, and getting the ball off.
So the Cadets will have a 1st and 10 at the 28-yard line.
Testing 1, 2, 3.
So we've got 3 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near, and a flag before they get this one off.
Defensive offsides, it appears.
That time looked like the nose tackle.
Boy, that was a big 4th down play, Eric.
Yeah.
And kept the chains going and kept the Cadets in this game. I think Coach Manningle probably decided at that point, 4th and 8, we're down 17 to nothing. It's either now or never.
Absolutely. And if you don't convert that, you give the ball right back to the Saints at midfield. That penalty is going to go against the Saints for 5 yards.
We get a Saints timeout.
Yep. And we will take a timeout as well. You're listening to High School Football on RedeemerRadio.com.
We do have you, Mary.
Mary, if you can hear me, go ahead and put the spots on so I can hear them.
You're on in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to Shields Field. Want to thank those of you who have tuned in on RedeemerRadio.com. We apologize for the technical difficulties, and we are excited to bring you this game here at Shields Field. Bishop Dwenger versus the Concordia Cadets, and it's the Saints who have staked a 17-0 lead here in the second quarter with 7:17 to go. And a 1st and 5 coming up for the Cadets. I'd like to remind you tonight's game is brought to you by Peter Franklin Jewelers, located in Fort Wayne, Angola, and New Haven. We have the best diamond fashion designs in the area and offer the largest collection of loose diamonds and bridal collections. So come on in to Peter Franklin Jewelers and talk with one of our experts today.
That's absolutely right, Joe. And they have it.
H-back in the backfield for the first time tonight for the Cadets. A little fullback action.
Yeah, so he's going to take the snap handoff to Drew, and that H-back doesn't do much good as Drew gets stood up right at the line of scrimmage.
They tried a little inside zone or maybe even a wham play there up the middle where that H-back kind of hits a trap type block, but nothing doing right up the middle against that Saints D.
There's nothing. Look at the backers. Wow, those backers.
Going to be 2nd and 5, so after the penalty yardage gives 5 yards to the Cadets, Dwenger stops him for no yards on 1st down.
That's just great gap control defense.
Dwenger trying to preserve a first half shutout just like they did last week against Carroll. They led that game 10-0 at the break.
This time we got man on the wing.
2nd and 5, Davis in the shotgun, rolls to his right, looks to throw, fires it towards the end zone. The defense is there, but the offense is as well.
What a catch.
An outstanding catch over the defense, and that's good for a Cadet touchdown.
That's their go-to guy, Tyler Grossman out there for the Cadets. Their senior, 6'1", 195 wide receiver, and just simply went up over the defender to make that catch, but pinpoint pass as well from Brandon Davis. That's the only place that he could have completed that, and that's where he threw it.
Well, and just an excellent job by the Cadets of not getting down after that Dwenger score and putting together a drive to respond. It's what we saw throughout the game last week. Dwenger able to respond to the Carroll drives, and Dwenger comes up big here on defense, blocking the extra point, and Coach Garrett is out there pumped up with his special teams.
Yep, nice special teams play by the Saints there. I didn't get the number of the individual that made the block because it's so difficult with these green uniforms, but nonetheless, looked like Callan Stauffer maybe was in there on the thanks Stats Thompson for the help there, the assist. Callan Stauffer in there on the block.
And just like that, 17-6 is your score. We'll step aside. You're listening to High School Football on RedeemerRadio.com.
Special teams for the Saints. You know, it's tough though, Joe, because
You're clear.
Thank you so much. Can you go ahead and put the ads in our ears? That would be fantastic.
I could try, but Doug and I are too afraid to press any more buttons. Right now, we're not sure what's going to happen. Sorry about
Fair
that.
enough. You can count me down.
Sure. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back, folks. Shields Field. The Cadets have put a score on the board for the first time tonight, courtesy of a Brandon Davis touchdown pass to his leading receiver, Tyler Grossman. 17-6 your score, Saints on top. As the Cadets kick things away, they're going to squib this one down the middle, and it's fielded about the 30-yard line by the Saints. Short return up to the 34, and here come the Saints offense.
It's like Adam Lee on the carry there. Not a normal returner for the Saints, but with that squib kick, he was able to pick it up and secure it.
Pick that ball up and get upfield, but boy, does he get dropped by the...
So we'll see what the Saints offense has in store. Again, a quick strike touchdown on their last possession. That possession lasted all of one play as Lytle found Rocco Sioka down the sideline for 6.
About this defensive front seven, but these DBs are awesome for Bishop Dwenger. You saw Lee right there on
Saints come out trips to the right side and one receiver to the far side.
first and 10.
Lytle's in the shotgun.
Trips on the bottom of your screen.
Overlooks the defense. Here's a snap. Looks to his right. Looks to throw. Fires over the middle. Short pass. And this one caught by, I believe, Sam Campbell. Yep, it is Campbell. Good for a gain of 3 yards on first down.
Just a little hitch route, not a very deep one. Lytle just jammed it in there between the 1 and the 0 on Sam's jersey, and they were able to get a decent start on this drive. 2nd and 7.
Boom, that's how you tackle. Wrap him up and put him down.
Under 6 minutes to go here until the halftime break.
I like it when you get there quick.
Saints have a 2nd and 7 at their own 37-yard line. Spread things out with 2 receivers each side this time. Lytle looks to throw. He'll fire it out into the flats on the far side and looking for the corner. He's got it across the 40 and up near the first down marker.
That's KJ Tippmann. Nice job catching that swing route out of the backfield, I believe. And yeah, KJ eluded the first defender, able to get it out, get some yardage, and going to bring up about a 3rd and 3, it appears.
Yeah, it looked like he got farther than that, but they're going to mark him down at the 41-yard line.
You gotta make that tackle.
And now a big 3rd down for this Cadet defense if they can get the ball right back.
You're absolutely right, Eric. I mean, this is a big play for them defensively.
Through Carroll, he ran over Carroll.
Saints are going to come out
I mean, that tape last week.
tight formation, heavy on the far side, and we're going to have
Actually, they're in a wildcat. KJ Tippmann.
Yeah, KJ was in the backfield, but they might be second-guessing that formation. They'll call a timeout. We'll step aside as well. You're listening to High School Football on RedeemerRadio.com.
I don't know what the term is. We'll call it the house backfield, but that was the linebacker backfield. I mean, if I'm Concordia and I'm a safety and I see that, I sell out. Get as many guys.
Is this Hatfield?
See if Leonard comes back in that because if they.
This is Good Shepherd Gifts.
Okay, thank you.
Him at the point of attack, but how about this Minor offense? You see so many different looks and they have so many different weapons to come at you with.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back, folks. Since 1958, Bishop Lewis High School has proclaimed the gospel and excelled at academics, sports, and performing arts. Join us as we thank God for over 60 years of Catholic education. Back at Shields Field, 17-6 is your score. Saints on top of the Cadets. They face a big 3rd and 3 here on their own 41-yard line.
Sticking with it in the Wildcat. I would expect him off the left side.
And that's the way they go, following blockers. And this one's going to be good for a first down and breaking through. Down the sideline, 35-30. We'll see if he can get wrangled down. They do get him inside the 20. And I believe that's KJ Tippmann.
That is a nasty Bishop Dwenger type run on that particular play. Off the left side by KJ Tippmann. He put his head down, blasted through a tackle, ran over another defender, and turned it into a big gain.
We saw KJ have a breakaway play last week at Carroll as he rushed for a 66-yard touchdown run. And that time, again, showing off his ability to break through tackles and extend the play downfield with his speed.
Doing a great job with his pad level there. Learned that from my old running back coach. Got to get your pad level low to break those tackles.
Yeah. And even after the defense got there down the field, they converged at about the 30-yard line, tried to grab a fistful of his jersey, and he galloped another 15 yards after contact.
Is that the Cadets on a timeout this time?
Timeout Cadets. So we'll take a break as well. You're listening to High School Football on RedeemerRadio.com.
Just drops the pads at the last moment.
Clear.
And the leg motion through it. He just swinging to Carroll, and he did that to Mertz. Mertz is one of Carroll's best players.
I think I want the lights on at halftime.
Yeah.
He's coming on. Yeah, he came in the game almost 8 yards to carry. He's coming on.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back, folks. The Saints setting up shop inside the red zone at the 14-yard line with the 1st and 10.
That huge run by KJ Tittman. Saints are set up.
Bishop Dwenger looking to go up by 3 scores. They lead 17-6 with 4:39 to go in the second quarter. Lytle's going to come out in the shotgun with 2 receivers out to the right side.
Devin Tittman in the backfield. Fake.
Yep, it's going to be a fake to Tittman, and Lytle scampers around the formation into the end zone for a Bishop Dwenger touchdown.
Nearly untouched off the fake to Devin Tittman, and that makes sense because when Devin Tittman's in the backfield, you want to make sure you know where he is and where he's going, and the Saints used that to their advantage and allowed Brendan Lytle to keep it, and he scampers in for the touchdown.
Watch this. Watch the.
Boy, what the Saints are doing right now to this Concordia defense is really impressive.
It really is. They have been billed all season long as one of the better units in the city, and the Saints have not been impressed so far.
Belanda set to kick this one through. Kick is up, and it is good. Just like that, 24-6 is your score as the Saints respond to the Tyler Grossman touchdown with an impressive scoring drive of their own. We'll step aside. You're listening to High School Football on RedeemerRadio.com.
Clear.
It should come as no surprise that these guys are just so smart down the road.
He was so analytical. And Herm Edwards said he was the smartest player he ever coached in the NFL was Jason Fabini. So when you have an offensive line, and Mike, you can comment on that.
5,
you have guards
4, 3, 2, 1.
That's what makes Oklahoma so
Welcome back, folks. 24-6 is your score. Bishop Dwenger cashing in on that touchdown drive as Brendan Lytle runs it in from 14 yards out. Adds a rushing touchdown to his resume. He's thrown for 8 scores this season and rushed for a couple as well. And we continue to see this Bishop Dwenger offense just continue to develop week after week.
Yeah, I love the balance that they're showing both in the run and the pass. That's the part that excites me about their future, and very, very difficult to defend when you're that balanced.
You can do so many things with the play call.
And here comes the kickoff for the Saints. Cam Johnson is back deep. This one a shorter kickoff. He's there to field it at the 9-yard line. Here comes Johnson looking for some blockers, follows them up to the 30-yard line, and that's where the Saints are there. So they do a better job of bottling up Johnson, and the Cadets will start at their own 30-yard line.
They do, but he still got her out past the 30.
Yeah.
So, even on their worst return, they're getting her out past the 30, and that's a nice job by the Cadet special teams unit.
Excellent blocking there on special teams. So the Saints have put 24 points on the board here in this first half. They rushed out to a 21-0 lead last year in this matchup when Bishop Dwenger won 33-14. Concordia hoping for a different result here tonight. They'll go with trips to the near side. Davis in the shotgun. Here's a snap, looks to throw, fires it towards the trips. It is caught, and across the 35-yard line to about the 39 is a completed pass to Scotty Van Landingham.
Yeah, it looked like Adam Lee in there on the tackle. Devin Tittman was out there as well from his middle backer spot, and that's a nice start for the drive for Concordia, just on a little slip screen out wide left.
Nice job.
8 yards on first down.
tell you, Coach Manico, he's 16-9.
We tick down to inside 4 minutes to go here in the first half.
And I love how the Concordia kids play so hard.
This time trips out to the far side for Davis.
Initial contact, so 2nd and 2 here from the 39 for the Cadets.
Looking over the defense, again using all that play clock. Here's the snap, looks to throw, fires down the near sideline, and it's a jump ball, goes through the fingertips of Van Landingham. The Dwenger defense was there to contest the ball as well.
Really great coverage there by Adam Lee from his right corner spot. He was stride for stride with Van Landingham, and if he was going to come down with that, he was going to have to go way up and over him to get it. Great defense by Adam Lee.
Adam Lee, one of 3 Saints to get their mitts on Jeffrey Becker's passes last week. Becker came in with no interceptions on the season, and this Saints defense picked him off 3 times. And they've already recovered 2 fumbles here in this first half. 3rd and 2, looking to get the first down yardage is Drew as he piles through the middle and keeps those legs moving. Good for a first down across the 40-yard line to the 43.
Yeah, it looked like Matthew Jimenez in there on the tackle again, but he can credit his defensive line mates. They did a nice job of stalemating that Concordia offensive line up front, and didn't get a whole lot of yardage out of it.
Oh, you talked about Amir Drew and his development, his ability to put on some weight, and it's those type of plays where we really see that power running game come in handy. 1st and 10 Cadets. Again, 2 receivers to each side for Davis. Here's the snap. And hands off to Drew, who eludes 1 tackler and then continues to push the pile close to midfield to the 49-yard line.
And Joe Eddy was in there early and got kind of a piece of an ankle or something, but Drew just powered right through that for about a 6-yard gain.
And we've seen throughout the night this Cadet offense have success, particularly on first down. They're doing a great job staying ahead of the sticks. It's just a matter of finishing, executing throughout the whole drive.
Yeah, that's well said. Not shooting themselves in the foot by turning it over, etc.
Right. 2nd and 4, Concordia looking to the far side of the field. It is caught, and with some room to run, blockers across the outside, across the 40-yard line down to the 36.
Luke Speckard on the screen wide right, and Brandon Davis does a nice job of getting the ball out quickly and giving those guys room to operate, and he had some good blocking up front by some receivers out wide right in front of him, and Speckard picks up a nice gain there.
And that's maybe the most impressive aspect of Concordia's game that I've seen tonight, the blocking, both on offense and on special teams. Been really impressive.
Well, I've said all year, if you're going to do something against this Saints defense, you've got to throw screens, and they've been pretty effective on this drive already with it.
Yep, 1st and 10. Here's Davis on the option, keeps it himself through the middle, and the Saints wrangle him down after a short gain.
Yeah, they went speed option left, and Davis thought he had some daylight there on his own to keep it, but from the backside came John Michael Fabini to make that tackle. So nice job by Fabini on that particular play.
Fabini leads the area with 5.5 sacks. That time, that will go down as no gain, so just missed another one. But the Saints will take it. 2nd and 10 Cadets, and this clock is ticked down to 1:28 to go. Trips to the far side for Davis, looks to throw, fires it over the middle, and in coverage, beautifully broken up by the Saints.
I'll tell you what, the Saints have done a really nice job in pass coverage tonight. They are in position. Even the touchdown earlier to Grossman, the Saints defense was in position. So it looked like Devin Tittman may be down the middle on that pass coverage. And usually we're expecting him to come on the blitz, but he's showing his multi-dimensional ability there to cover the pass as well. And he was stride for stride with that wide receiver.
Another big 3rd down for the Cadets. The clock stopped at 1:21, and a 3rd and 10 for Concordia. Ball at the Bishop Dwenger 42-yard line. Again, trips to the far side for Davis. He's got Drew in the backfield. Another option here, pitches it back to Drew, barely corrals the ball, and then is taken down at the line of scrimmage as the Saints do a great job of limiting that play.
Sam Pisa forced it inside from his outside backer spot, and then I think John Michael Fabini cleaned it up.
So that'll bring up 4th and 10. The Saints are going to call a timeout to conserve clock with 1:08 to go. We'll step aside. You're listening to High School Football on RedeemerRadio.com.
all the way
Clear.
into the backfield. He blows the play up. That's just fantastic effort and the ability to keep the edge.
John Michael for being coming from the other side of the field.
Please.
Once again, folks, today's broadcast is brought to you by ProFed. You're invited to join the ProFed Credit Union, where we get to know you.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back, folks. Locally and family owned for 35 years, Tim Didier Meats has built a reputation for fresh custom meat orders. If you'd like that special cut of beef for your next gathering, Tim Didier Meats can help. Prime rib, filet mignon, and Tim's own special ground beef, made fresh daily, can be ordered within an hour's notice. To place your order, call 260-482-8400 or find them on the web at timdidiermeats.com.
Good steak sounds good about right
It
now.
does. Corey, we've got 2+ quarters to wait before you can start thinking about that. 4th and 11 for the Cadets on the Bishop Dwenger 43-yard line. The offense stays on the field in spread formation. Big play for both sides here as Davis takes a snap, looks to throw. Got pressure, rolls to his right side, chucks it down the sideline, single coverage, and broken up there by the Saints. No flag on the play as he got, you said it right there, perfect position, getting in front of the receiver, almost boxing him out as the ball came.
Callan Stauffer did an outstanding job there down the sidelines on the Cadets receiver, and quite often we've seen this year, Eric, where the offensive player has to become the defensive back against the Saints DBs to prevent an interception. So great coverage once again by the Saints.
So that gives the Saints the ball at their own 38-yard line with 1:02 to go. They do have no timeouts left, but of course the clock stops on first downs here in high school. So we'll see if they can punch this one in the end zone one more time. Lytle in the shotgun, passes towards the sideline, quick out pattern, and it's good for a pickup on first down, and the clock stops out of bounds.
Yeah, nice quick first down play. Get a little yardage going, get out of bounds. Saints have no timeouts left, so they're going to have to be diligent on the sideline here and also use their first downs, the clock stoppage, to move the chains to their advantage as well.
Pick up a 5 on first down, brings up 2nd and 5. 2 receivers split out to each side. Here's Lytle, quick throw across the middle. Campbell gets driven down into the ground. Really big hit there, and he is unable to hold on to the football.
Sam Hudson from his defensive back spot for the Concordia Cadets really laid a stick on Campbell, who Lytle kind of hung out to dry just a little bit there on that seam route, quite honestly. But I'm sure he'll apologize in the huddle and move on to the next play.
That's one of those plays where you know you're coming across the middle, you know there's going to be a big hit, and he absorbed the hit and popped right back up. 3rd and 5 Saints. Lytle's in the shotgun. We're down to 56 seconds. Lytle's going to keep it himself through the middle, and he does get a first down right to the midfield stripe.
Quarterback draw and pick up the first down. Now the key right here is to get the next play in. The clock stopped for the chains to move. Get a play in. See, they decide to waste it down with the spike, and I think that they can get a play call in there, but just a little difference in philosophy.
Yeah, well, I mean, it's a good line of thinking. If you have time to get your whole team up to the line, and you've got the clock crew getting the ball ready and the chain set, you might as well have a play ready to be called and get in there.
No question.
So instead, 2nd and 10 Saints. Ball resting on the midfield stripe. 46.4 seconds to go. Lytle is going to take the snap, roll to his right side, looking to throw, and fumbles the football. He's going to have to fall on this one. Boy, Corey, not something you see very often, but right as soon as he took his hand back to throw, it just slipped right out of his hands.
It did, and unfortunate for them, and now they got to get back up to the line, and they already wasted a down on the beginning of the drive with the spike, so now all of a sudden they're at 3rd and 20.
As we tick down to 20 seconds to go. Lytle looks to throw. He's got time, fires it down the middle. He's got a man, and there is a flag. And I think that's a good one. He had O'Keefe down the middle, And O'Keefe looked like he was grabbed on the shoulder pad and was not able to go up and get that ball.
Dontrell Johnson, 22 for the Cadets, kind of came over the top of O'Keefe there. I don't know. I'm curious I'd love to see the replay, which we will on BD Media Productions here. It's interesting. Maybe just a hair early he made contact on his way to the football. Kind of went through the receiver to the ball, and that's a tight one. And if you're the Cadets, you're probably I don't know. I don't know how you feel about that one. It was close.
Yeah, it was right as right as the ball got there. So a bang play.
It wasn't egregious, but it was certainly callable.
So that does give the Saints penalty yardage, but still a third down situation, and more importantly, only 14 seconds on the clock. Here's Lytle looking to throw, looks to throw. He's going to step up and tuck this one down inside the 40-yard line, looking for the sideline. Won't get there, but he does get a first down. 7 seconds. Saints going to have to run up to the line, be ready to spike this one. They get there, the clock
starts. Rome clock operator.
Yeah.
Concordia is probably wondering why in the world was the clock not running. Well, the reason is you're at Bishop Dwenger.
So that's going to stop the clock with 5.9 seconds left. The ball's at the 41-yard line, so obviously not in field goal range. The question is, do you have time for a quick 10-yard out to try to set up a field goal, or just one chuck at the end zone?
Yeah, 5.9, maybe you can run a quick out and try to pick up some yardage to try to kick a field goal, but you're probably right on the edge of that, so they better get a play in. They've got 15 seconds on the play clock here, and players over on the sideline still.
10 seconds as they break huddle. We'll see what they decide to do. 2nd and 10. Of course, 5.9 seconds left. Trips to the near side. Here's a snap. Looking to throw. Lytle's going to have to try to elude this one, but he cannot.
And that'll do it.
Goes down for a sack, and that's how the first half will end, as Logan Narwhal Settle got in there.
Nice job by Logan picking up that sack at an opportune time for the Cadets and send this thing into halftime.
So, your halftime score, Bishop Dwenger 24, Concordia 6. We'll step aside and be back with our halftime show. You're listening to high school football on Redeemer Radio, 106.3 FM.
They're going to receive it to start the second.
Clear.
So you're watching Indiana High School football. We'll be right back after this break on Sun City Sports.
Let's do like 3 breaks here.
Okay, got it.
Thank you.
I'll have some updates whenever you're ready.
Perfect.
Probably got some homecoming court activities or something going on.
Yeah.
All right.
And they haven't even started the clock.
It's kind of like the end of the first half there.
We got plenty of stuff.
Nice to be home.
Five, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to Shields Field Homecoming at Bishop Dwenger High School. And really special for this Saints crowd and, of course, all the Saints students to be able to celebrate homecoming with some people here, Corey.
No question. I mean, I'm sure that just a few weeks ago, the seniors and the senior parents were probably wondering if that was even going to be an option this year.
Yeah.
And so it's great that they're able to do that.
It won't quite be the normal homecoming with cones out on the field. 6 feet apart, so they'll keep their social distancing and, of course, masks being enforced. But it is homecoming nonetheless. And with that, we welcome you to Shields Field for our halftime show. Tonight's halftime sponsor, Shawnee Construction and Engineering, a full-service construction firm that meets and exceeds expectations. With 94% repeat and referral business, when we say partnering for a lifetime, we mean it. So, your halftime score, 24-6, Bishop Dwenger on top of the Concordia Cadets. And it's been a game, Corey, I would say, where the Saints have been very opportunistic on both sides of the football.
No question about it. I mean, they were able to force some turnovers. We thought that was going to be a situation where the Cadets were going to need to do that themselves, but instead they coughed it up themselves, and the Saints were extremely opportunistic and were able to, Vinny Fiacable scoop and score, and then the first one gave the Saints the ball deep in the Concordia territory. So, very, as you mentioned, opportunistic's a great word for the first half defensively.
Well, and if you are watching on BD Media Productions and you're able to see that Vinny Fiacable run, if not, listening on the radio, check us out on social media. Mike Kelly on the sideline capturing the highlights. That's one that you're going to want to see. Really fun to see the big guy rumbling and bumbling for a touchdown. So the Saints have scored on offense, they've scored on defense, and they're really putting the clamps on this Concordia offense, which has had some success. They were slow getting going last week against Northrop, but no question with Brandon Davis under center, they're a different team and they're a dangerous team. And still, even with a deficit here at halftime, they're a team that has the ability to come back in the second half.
Yeah, no question. Even 24-6, I'm impressed with what he did in the first half. I mean, he is a cool customer back there. Didn't appear that any of the blitzing rattled him. I felt as if last week Becker was more rattled at Carroll than I've seen out of Davis tonight. He is just smooth, calm, and composed back there. And they haven't had it. They moved the ball down the field. I'm sure Kevin will give us some stats and tell us about their offensive yardage, but they just don't have a lot of points to show for it.
Well, speaking of Kevin, let's go over to Kevin Thompson on some first half stats. Kevin, what do you have for us?
Yeah, guys, we got Dwangers, keeping control, pretty balanced offense tonight. Rushing, they 10 carries, 88 yards rushing. Lytle has 93 passing yards, 10 of 13 for 93 yards, and KJ Tippmann, 3 carries, 53 yards rushing. Lytle actually has 6 carries for 33 yards tonight, and was even sacked once. It took away a few yards from him. So good balanced offense tonight for Dwayne.
Pretty amazing statistically, and yet quite a wide disparity on the scoreboard so far. So I'm sure the Cadets will have some thoughts on trying to basically do the same thing in the second half, but not turn it over this time.
And on the opposite sideline, the Saints, we've seen Lytle have some success, but we know that a lot of the passes have been short passes. I think, as we said, he's taking what the defense has given. He's only had 2 attempted long passes. I should say 3. 2 he's completed to Rocco Sioka far downfield, and then he had the pass interference call. So they have had success deep when they've thrown it, but I think oftentimes Lytle has found that the coverage is too good. He's just taking the underneath stuff.
Well, the word you used for the defense earlier was opportunistic, and I think we can use the same word about the offense.
Sure.
I mean, Brendan has sat back there and kind of taken what they've given him, and he's been opportunistic. A lot more balanced than that.
Absolutely. Well, folks, we're going to take a break and be back with some updates from across the SAC. After this break, you're listening to high school football on RedeemerRadio.com.
Yeah, Claire, I'm playing that Briscoe Dentistry spot right now because Doug said I could skip the Redeemer Radio ones for now and get the most important ones in first.
Okay. Yeah, you can go ahead and take like a full minute here.
Sure, okay.
Thanks.
Mike, you just politely declined because the big boy was running there, but feet, the feet, the ability to have, that's why IU is all over. He's going to play ball next year for IU because he's got feet.
So the 2020 official winner of high school homecoming is
his ability to run.
Give him a shout out. Dominic Tittman.
Holly Doyle.
I got it.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Welcome back to Shields Field. We just have the homecoming king and queen announced. Congratulations down there on the sidelines. Real quick, before we go to Nick, just want to remind you folks that Notre Dame Federal Credit Union is the largest Catholic credit union in the United States. They've served over 800 Catholic entities in over 25 dioceses nationwide. These include colleges, parishes, schools, food pantries, homeless shelters, and Catholic radio stations, including Redeemer Radio. Member-owned, not-for-profit banking is the way to go. You already share our values, why not share in our benefits? That's Notre Dame Federal Credit Union. And with that, we'll send things down to Nick Gray on the sideline with some updates. Nick, what do you have for us?
Well, guys, first of all, it's pretty interesting being down here during homecoming, get to watch everything, listen to you guys. I want to congratulate Dominic Tittman and Holly Doyle, the king and queen for the homecoming class of 2020. So very exciting down here. We've got the Bishop Dwenger dancers getting ready to roll, so I'm sure we're going to get interrupted here with some music. But before that happens, a lot going on tonight. Obviously, it's football night. Northrop's beating Lures 14-7 at the half. Northside's over at Homestead, and right now Homestead's leading that one 28-14. Snyder's beating Wayne 14-6. Carroll's up on Southside 42-0. Huntington North traveled over to DeKalb tonight. Huntington North leads that matchup 7-6 at the half. Leo's beating Belmont 41-0. Columbia City's beating New Haven 28-6, and Woodland's beating Jay County 12-7. So that's where we're at. We'll keep working on that for the second half, give you some good updates along the way. Back up to you guys.
All right, thank you, Nick. So we see there Homestead taking care of Northside so far. That's an interesting matchup. We know that Northside offense and Deuce Taylor can swing it all over the field. I believe he's 5th in the nation right now in passing yards. But we see an example of what a strong defense like that Homestead defense can do up against that Northside offense.
Yeah, and they appear to be one of the best in the city. I don't want to take anything away from the Saints here, but or the Cadets for that matter. But Homestead's defense is for real when they're clicking on all cylinders and have all their pieces intact. Palmer is their leader in the middle linebacker, and he's a ball player, and those guys they fly to the football. So that's a good defense. And Northside, Northside's a great offense though. So far a little bit stagnant in that one, it appears. And Evan Normsby continues to develop and have a kind of a coming out party since the Dwenger triple overtime win.
Yeah, if you wanted to get your knocks on Evan Ormsby, you better have gotten him out of the way in the first couple of weeks because he has been on ever since then.
More and more confidence with every week.
Well, and what that means is that he's getting the ball out to his playmakers more often.
He is.
And guys like Jared Kistler are able to, create space and do what they do.
And Nate Anderson, who just torched us.
Yes.
Quite honestly, I mean, we're pretty happy with the Saints DBs, and they have been great all year. But Nate Anderson made him pay, and that at the end of regulation, which forced overtime there.
Yeah.
And Nate had a big night against the Saints.
It's tough to relive that game, Corey.
Yeah, it is.
There were so many.
Leaves a bad taste in our mouths for sure.
Yep. So many moments where you think if one little thing goes differently, the outcome of the game shifts in the favor of the Saints. But nonetheless, right now in the SAC, there's a three-way tie atop the conference at 4-1 between Bishop Dwenger, Carroll, and Homestead. But of course, Homestead right now is in the driver's seat. They control their own destiny, and because their one loss coming to someone outside that top three, they don't have a loss to one of those other teams they're tied with. So
right, and remember that Homestead was down some significant players due to some COVID quarantine that particular week, which doesn't help them any in the standings, but just goes to show the kind of team that they are. And as you mentioned, they control their own destiny, and they have yet to play Carroll, which that'll probably be the game that decides the conference title one way or another.
It really will. So I mean, if Homestead takes care of business and can hold on against Carroll, they will have one loss and really be all but wrapped up. And meanwhile, Bishop Dwenger, they're on the heels of a battle against Carroll, and now all of a sudden they're Charger fans.
I was just going to say that.
They want Carroll to knock off Homestead, which would put them alone with one loss with Carroll, and of course the Saints holding the tiebreaker by virtue of their win last week head-to-head.
Quite a juxtaposition there.
Yeah. So it'll be interesting how the SAC race shapes out as we go throughout this season. We'll, of course, keep you up to date with all the scores throughout the games as they happen. We're going to step aside, take a time out here, and be back with the rest of our halftime show. You're listening to High School Football on RedeemerRadio.com.
Clear. I'm on the Good Shepherd gift spots.
Welcome back. Halftime at Shields Field. Saints on top of the Concordia Cadets 24-6. Well, Corey, we checked in with the SAC. Let's take a quick look atop the 5A poll, and really some interesting developments just in the last 24 hours. Saints fans remember the Valparaiso Vikings very clearly from their semi-state loss a year ago. Valparaiso has had a bit of a challenge this year. They had 2 games earlier this season canceled because of COVID-related issues with opponents, and then just yesterday they had to cancel their own football program for the next 2 weeks because of COVID within the program. They had a student test positive, and through contact tracing there was a lot of contact with football players. So Varsity and JV football programs shut down for 2 weeks. That means they're going to miss out on a Week 7 showdown against Merrillville. And as a result, your 5A state finalists from a year ago, Valparaiso, their regular season has shrunk to 5 games, Corey.
The biggest issue with that, or the biggest struggle with that for them, will be missing 2 weeks of practice.
Yes.
You take a 2-week break during the middle of the season, and it affects your timing on offense. It affects everything. I mean, most good coaches will tell you that you need to tackle virtually every day in practice just to keep that sharp. So it's a situation where that is definitely a negative for them heading into the playoffs.
Yeah, and they were just coming off a big win over Chesterton, where Tommy Burby rushed for 305 yards. You probably remember
that name last year. We called it a lot.
Yep. So instead, Valparaiso is going to be sitting out the next 2 weeks. So we'll have to wait and see how that affects teams down the stretch. But you have to imagine that it puts them at a disadvantage having less reps during the regular season.
No doubt about it. And Valparaiso appears to be, along with the Bishop Dwenger Saints, the leading teams in the 5A North right now.
Yep, and in the South, you've got a couple juggernauts. Of course, at number 1, Cathedral just continues to roll. All they've done, Corey, is just dominate 6A powers.
Let's talk about that for a second. I just pulled up their schedule because it's amazing. It's a who's who. In Week 1, they beat Westfield by 36 points. Week 2, they beat Carmel by a few touchdowns. Week 3, they beat Penn, 52-7, mind you. Week 4, they take on 3A number 1 Indianapolis Chittard and beat them by 19. And last week, they play in Ohio powerhouse Cincinnati St. X and beat them 25-22. So it's a who's who of high school, Midwest high school football powerhouses that they have taken out and are undefeated at 5-0.
Yeah, really impressive when you look at their resume. And so they're at number 1. You got Valpo at number 2. Bishop Dwenger was number 4. They moved up to 3 because New Palestine fell down. And if you know anything about the Dragons, we're talking about 7 straight undefeated seasons coming into this year.
Yeah, Coach Kyle Ralph there, just an amazing program at New Pal, but they got taken out by another great coach, Mount Vernon Fortville, and Coach Mike Kirshner, who won a state championship or 2, I believe, at Indianapolis. Ben Davis left there, went over to Mount Vernon in 4A football, and they've risen through the ranks, and they're a top 2 or 3 team in 4A right now, and are in the same conference as New Pal, and finally slayed the dragon, you might say.
Well, you've been winding that one up for a while, huh?
Sorry, it's all I got. I'll be here all week.
That's all right. It was impressive. A couple touchdowns for Mount Vernon beating New Pal, and so New Pal falls to number 4. And it still sets up a fascinating, potential regional match with Cathedral and New Pal.
It does, although I don't. At the current point, it doesn't look like it'd be much of a game.
Yeah.
Cathedral is just on all cylinders. They are loaded. They're playing tonight, in fact, against a team many Saints might remember from years back, Cincinnati LaSalle.
Yes.
Who the Saints played both in Cincinnati in an overtime win back in 2013, and then Cincinnati LaSalle came over here and weren't fooled by us in 2014 and took it to us pretty good that year. So, but they are an Ohio powerhouse. Have won a state championship or 2 since the Saints saw them back earlier part of the decade, and that's who the Cathedral Irish have tonight. So, they face all comers. Do the Cathedral Irish.
That they do. So really interesting as we take a look at the top of the 5A poll, which of course, if you're a Saints fan, you'll be watching that all season to see some potential postseason adversaries. So the team's back out onto the field, warming up here. A couple minutes added back to the clock. We're going to step aside our final time here during this halftime break. You're listening to High School Football on RedeemerRadio.com. Welcome back to Shields Field. A minute and a half to go before we kick this third quarter underway with the Saints on top 24-6. Corey, I wanted to share an interesting little tidbit with you here as we tick down in this halftime break. And this harkens back to my days of broadcasting CYO games. When you look at these two teams playing, it's almost a who's who of CYO. And on both sides of the football, if you can imagine a team that had Brendan Lytle at quarterback, you've got Devin Tittman at middle linebacker, Amir Drew in the backfield at running back, and then you've got Joe Fabini, John Michael Fabini on the line. You've got, as seventh graders, Henry O'Keefe, Rocco Sioka playing tight end, Adam Lee at linebacker. They even had Jace Parnan at tight end. So you've got representatives from Dwenger and Concordia all played together on the St. Charles Cardinals squad that went undefeated, CYO champs, diocesan champs in 2016. That team was loaded.
That was some really good recruiting by Santa Talarico.
You could say that. It's just amazing to see the way these kids develop. And now, as they're all seniors and juniors, if you put them on a team together now, it would almost be a city all-star team.
You're right about
and you had
that.
all those together on one middle school team, and they just dominated.
Amazing.
So, yeah, you mentioned Coach Sam Talarico. Shout out to him as head coach of that Cardinal team. And he was telling people back then, when Devin Tittman was starting at middle linebacker as a seventh grader, this kid is born to be middle linebacker.
Yeah, he is. And, he showed some real versatility tonight, something we haven't seen much out of him in playing the pass on that. I was most impressed. I love the way he hits. I love the way he fills the hole and makes tackles. But I was most impressed tonight with his pass defense. He covered that seam route from his middle linebacker spot flawlessly. And colleges have got to be salivating over that.
Absolutely.
His ability to play the run at the line of scrimmage and get back in coverage, that's something we haven't seen from him before, and he is just phenomenal.
Here we go to start the third quarter. A bit of a pooch kit down the middle, and the Saints will pick it up. Adam Lee across the 40-yard line before a host of cadets usher him out of bounds.
That's the negative with that pooch kick, is if it is fielded cleanly, oftentimes you'll end up with some great field position, and that's what the Saints get out past the 40.
Yep, they'll set up shop on the 43-yard line, do the Saints, as they try to add to their lead, 24-6 here to start this third quarter.
You want to stop this and really get back in this game.
So a lot of time for the Cadets to try to get back in this ball game, but it's going to have to start on the defensive side, getting a stop against the Saints offense.
Yeah, I think this is a big series for them if they want to get back in this game. Defensively, they need to get that defense off the field.
Saints are going to come out with a tight formation, two receivers to the far side for Lytle in the shotgun. Pitch it back, and it's going to be Tittman across the 40, about just back to the line of scrimmage for KJ Tittman.
Quick toss out to the short side of the field, and really didn't fool the Cadet defense. They did a nice job of flying to the football there, and looks like no gain on the play.
Second and 10 for the Saints. Do you expect them to keep it on the ground more in the second half, or do you still think keeping it two-dimensional is the best way to go?
I would expect a similar balance. I would expect a throw here. Nope, speed option.
Lytle's going to run out. He's going to pitch it at the last second to KJ, who gets a nice head of steam down the sideline, picks up only about 3 yards when they mark him out of bounds.
They run the ball to the short side of the field again with a speed option, and Brendan did a good job of kind of luring the defender to him before he pitched it off, and that was the only thing that allowed them to pick up about 3.5 or 4 yards on the play.
Yep, it'll be 3rd and 7. So the Concordia defense trying to get off the field and force Saints into a 3-and-out on this opening drive of the third quarter.
Interesting that they decided to run the ball the first 2 plays and do so to the short side of the field, and now they go Wildcat.
Yep.
Lytle comes off the field.
Lytle's on the sideline, KJ Tittman in the Wildcat position. It worked for a first down last time. Here comes KJ. He's going to follow his blockers across midfield. It's a nice gain, but it's a couple yards short of a Dwenger first down.
What will Coach Garrett do? Will they go 4th and 2, or will they punt? They're going to punt it.
Yep.
Interesting play call to go Wildcat there with such long yardage on 3rd and 6 from midfield. Just a little bit outside the reach normally of a Wildcat formation.
I believe in the first half it was about a 3rd and 4, and they had just enough to get the first down.
They had a lot of confidence in their ability to run the football with it, obviously.
Yeah. Something they apparently have been working. And now a fake punt. It's direct snap to KJ Tittman.
I think
he is going to get a first down.
They fake it and get it just by a yard to keep the chains moving.
Wow. First time we've seen that play drawn out by the Bishop Dwenger Saints, and it goes for a first down. And hats off to KJ Tittman, who turned the ball upfield, and he probably left his feet 2 yards short of a first down.
He knew where the sticks were, that's for sure, and aggressive play call out of the Saints coaching staff.
So, fresh set of downs as the Saints have the ball on the Cadet 46-yard line. They're going to go trips to the far side for Lytle in the shotgun. Here's a snap, rolls to that side, looks to throw, fires it, and dropped. Had his man coming across the pattern. Would have been a gain of about 5, but falls incomplete.
Yeah, they put the trips into the boundary that time and then rolled to the boundary. Not a lot of real estate over there when you do that, and I think it made it tough for anybody to really get a whole lot of, a whole lot of separation from the defense. So we're going to go incomplete, 2nd and 10 here.
Saints on the opening possession of the third quarter. They lead 24-6 as Lytle makes the call in the huddle. That Concordia defense looking to do what it's done to many opponents this year and shut it down. Here's a quick bubble screen to the far side, following blockers up across the 45-yard line to about the 41.
Went trips into the boundary again and went quick screen out to the right, and can't tell who that was on the catch. Was that Sioka?
Looked like Sioka,
yeah. It looks like Rocco on the far side there on that quick screen, and he may have found a little bit more real estate if he'd have kept it out toward the sideline rather than coming back inside. Oftentimes we would always tell receivers, cut outside, get to the sideline. If you cut it back inside, that's where all the defenders are coming from.
Right. So it's going to be a gain of 5, brings up 3rd and 5 for the Saints. They'll spread things out 2 on each side. Lytle looking to throw, flushed out to his right, passes it out into the flats, and it looks like it might be good for a first down, but we have a flag in the backfield.
Saints do such a good job of putting that running back out as their security emergency valve, if you will, on the right side, but that looks like a block in the back on the edge on the Saints. I think the Saints have just decided that maybe their running back isn't helping them a whole lot in pass protection, so let's put him out there as a security valve and use him when we need him.
So they're going to have to march this one back. It's going to create a 3rd and long. Looks like about 3rd and 15. So they go 3rd and 5 to 3rd and 15. We'll see what they draw up here. And if we go to 4th down, the fake punt's already out of the bag, so.
Yeah, you wouldn't anticipate that being used twice in the same game.
Saints spread things out. Lytle looks to throw. He's got time this time. Sitting back there. Now he's going to step forward to his right and fire. He's going to get O'Keefe coming across.
I think he's got it. He's going to be really close.
Really close, right at the 36-yard line. That's where the sticks are, and it is good for a Bishop Dwenger first down.
Yeah, the Concordia only rushed 3. They're 3 down linemen on that particular play, and they gave Brendan Lytle all kinds of time back there to find somebody open, and he ended up scrambling to his left and finding O'Keefe coming across the field. So, I think that that's probably a defensive idea. They went kind of prevent there on 3rd and 15, and I think they're going to figure out they need to put a little bit more heat on.
So Lytle able to make a connection with O'Keefe there. They needed 15 yards. They got just that. And now a 1st and 10 for the Saints at the Concordia 36-yard line. Here's a snap for Lytle. Design quarterback keeper through the middle and dodging defenders up to the 30-yard line. And that's a nice gain of 7 on first down.
It really is a nice job on that quarterback draw. And offensive line, give them a little bit of love. Doing a nice job up front for the Saints.
Just measured with their offense.
So Saints on their opening possession of the third quarter, and they've ticked off 4 minutes of this clock as we tick down to 8 minutes to go. 2nd and 4.
Tittman is in at running back now. A nice block there by KJ Tittman. leading the way for Ryan.
Saints content to take their time as play clock ticks down to 3, 2, and they get the snap off. Lytle looks to throw and is out into traffic. Looks like it is hung on for a completion.
That's a tremendous catch by Rocco Sioka in traffic. Number 11 for the Cadets, Braden Payne. Again, we've mentioned his name earlier in the broadcast. He is one of the best defensive backs in the conference. He was draped all over Rocco, and he still came down and made that catch. Rocco Sioka is making a name for himself in this conference.
You know, we've seen early on in the season, we saw Sioka making those, great grabs, showing off the hands, but we've really seen some strength out of him.
Yeah, and I love the way that he catches it with his hands.
Yeah.
Doesn't bring it into his body.
Here's a first down play. It's going to be a pitch and a halfback pass down the sideline. It is caught and walking into the end zone for a Bishop Dwenger touchdown.
Who was on the throw there? Was that KJ Tippman?
I believe it was.
That's impressive. Threw it to Sioka. They went look like what is typically a speed option, where Lytle runs out to the side and makes the pitch to his running back, and then KJ Tippman just pulled up and threw it downfield to Rocco, who was wide open.
Impressive play there by the Saints as they pull out the fake punt and the halfback pass on one drive.
Some gadget plays on that drive.
Here's the PAT. Belanda puts this one through, and the Saints lead 30-6, 31-6 after the PAT. We'll step aside. You're listening to high school football on RedeemerRadio.com. Welcome back, folks. The St. Felix Catholic Center in Huntington, Indiana offers one-day and overnight retreats with over 70 rooms. Be sure to visit Our Lady in her grotto and walk the 30 scenic acres. St. Felix is the former home of Blessed Solanus Casey. Visit their website at sfcatholiccenter.com to schedule your next meeting or retreat. Well, the Saints open up the third quarter with a touchdown drive, courtesy of a KJ Tippman halfback pass to Rocco Sioka, and 31-6 is your score.
Just what Concordia did not want to happen right out of the gate in the second half.
Belanda kicks this one away. Cam Johnson back to receive at the 1-yard line. He's going to take this through the middle, looking to follow his blocker, spins out of one, and then across the 25-yard line to about the 26.
Couple of spin moves there by Johnson. Does a nice job on that return. Yeah. Showed really no fear of hitting that right up the middle against the Saints kickoff team.
And Corey, I got to say, so far in this ball game, with these two great defenses, I think we expected a low-scoring game, and here we are early third quarter. The Saints have put 31 on the board.
Yeah, they've been opportunistic with those fumbles early, but otherwise they have just been clicking on all cylinders offensively. There's been no hangover from that emotional win last week. They have just built upon it.
Absolutely. First and 10 Cadets. It'll be Davis in the shotgun, trips to the near side. Here's a snap. Handoff through the middle. Amir Drew, again, a nice head of steam there as he crosses the 30-yard line to the 32. Picks up 5 yards on first down.
Yeah, a lot of Saints in on that particular tackle. Looked like Jack Knight primarily was there, but it was about 6 yards downfield.
Man, he had a lot of carries in high school.
2nd and 5 Cadets. And for a team that's used to grinding out the clock is now against them here.
Yep, they are behind the 8 ball here a little bit.
Again, plenty of talented wide receivers, a couple of which we really haven't called much. As Davis is going to try to get them the ball here. Another second down handoff, and Drew up to the 35-yard line. It's going to bring up a 3rd and short.
Another inside zone, and I think Jack Knight in there again. Back-to-back plays, he's made the tackle, and as you mentioned, about 3rd and 2.
6:15 to go in this third quarter of action. You talk about the Saints able to get things clicking on all cylinders. I really think that confidence started last week, the way they started the football game against Carroll, and it's really just bled forward through this game as well. 3rd and 2, Davis on the option. He's going to keep it himself. He's trying to find the edge on the near side, and he just gets across the 38-yard line. Looks like it's just enough for a Cadet first down.
Yeah, Braden Groves was there, also Sam Pisa, Devin Tittman all the way to the sideline along with Jack Knight. Great pursuit out of the Bishop Dwenger defense on that play, and they moved the chains anyway. First down, Cadets.
1st and 10. Saints defense has been stout throughout this game, only allowing 1 touchdown. We talk about this starting defensive group. You know, Corey, through 5 games, the starting defense has only allowed 7 scores in regulation, now 8 scores in their 6th game. Really impressive group.
They are, and they picked up kind of right where they left off a year ago. Then the thing that the Saints hang their hat on.
Another handoff to Drew, does a great job of falling forward. The ball comes out, but they'll call him down just across the 40-yard line.
Yeah, picked up 3 or 4 on that inside zone play.
And again, we see the ability of this Cadet offense to move the ball down the field, but it's in short plays. And they're going to have to pick up the pace a bit if they want to try to come back in this game.
No doubt about it. Now, Amir Drew has done a nice job tonight for the Cadets, but he's at about half of his average yards per carry. I mean, he comes in averaging, I think, nearly 7 yards a carry, and right now our man Stats Thompson has him for about 3.3 yards a carry is all on the night.
Yeah, racked up 157 last week against Northrop.
41 for these Cadets.
Not nearly the same success here. Quick out pass on 2nd down, and that one's going to go for another first down across midfield as we saw some speed out of Robert Johnson on the receiving end.
Yeah, nice job on a little bubble screen out wide. That is one area that I think that Saints being so good on defense, but that's one area that they're susceptible is on a quick screen. They bring so much edge pressure with their outside linebackers, do the Saints, that they are susceptible to a big play if you can get the ball out quickly right where they came from.
Right. So that's good for a first down for Concordia. They're into Bishop Dwenger territory at the 49-yard line. Trips out to the near side. Here's Davis in the shotgun. Awaiting the snap. Saints show pressure, now they back off. Davis looks to throw, fires it down the sideline. Again, single coverage, and again, the Saints are there to break that one up.
Callan Stauffer again, perfect coverage, and Davis went out wide. He had a receiver on the inside seam that was running down the hash marks that was more open than the outside receiver, and he just didn't see him.
Yeah.
But he picked the wrong receiver there, or else he could have had a big gain.
Instead, it's incomplete. We do have the referee group huddle up at midfield discussing something.
He was awesome.
No official signal here. Now it's going to be a personal foul against the Saints.
Not sure what where that came from or what was called.
Stauffer really does a nice job.
But nonetheless, it's going to create another first down for Concordia, I believe.
Yep. And another penalty for the Saints.
Yeah, exactly right.
That's one of those areas as they continue to click on all cylinders. That's the one point I would say that they need to clean up the most.
They do. They've got to clean that up.
So that'll mark the ball at the Dwenger 34-yard line, and the Cadets have a 1st and 10. So still not sure what that penalty was or where it occurred, but nonetheless, the Cadets are in good position here on first down as they hand off to Drew through the middle. Tough yardage there.
Yeah, had an H-back again. Looked like they're running that wham play where the H-back makes a trap block inside, and they kind of telegraph that because they don't run any other plays with that H-back
Right.
or have yet to this evening anyway. And so everybody kind of knows it's coming, so very short gain on that one.
Yep, call it 2 yards, 2nd and 8 Cadets. 4:36 to go in this third quarter. Saints on top 31-6.
It's just that Devin knew the chance when to go to and beat him to it.
Exactly. He can't get to it because Timmy's going to be.
Cadets have been moving the ball, but again, using a lot of clock to do so.
Concordia looking
Two receivers to the near side. Davis looks to throw. He's going to be rolling out to his right. Chucks it sidearm, and they're on the catch. Parnan inside the 20 down to the 15-yard line. No, Speckert on the reception that time, and he's got another Cadet first down.
That just shows you the dangerous aspect of Brandon Davis's game. He gets flushed from the pocket, looks like he may run it, and then slings a sidearm one out there to a wide open Speckert, and makes a big play for the Cadets.
Yeah, he had a lot of room to run that time. And it'll be first down at the 16-yard line. First and 10 Cadets. Here's Davis in the shotgun, and he's going to fake a handoff to Drew, and he's going to try to stretch it out himself on his legs, and he'll be taken down in the backfield as the Saints were not fooled.
It almost looked like a broken play, quite honestly. I've not seen them run any kind of wide zone with a deep handoff like that in their previous games. Either that was a new play or a broken play, but nonetheless it results in about a 3 or 4 yard loss.
Yeah.
Look at how fast Dwayne gets the ball.
Saints with excellent pursuit on that play. It's going to set up a 2nd and 13.
A natural inside linebacker.
Davis in the shotgun, one receiver to the far side, two to the near. Here comes the pressure from the Saints. Davis looks to throw, chucks it into the end zone. The Saints are there on defense, and that one goes out of bounds.
Callan Stauffer intercepted it, but was a yard or two out of bounds. But that just shows you the coverage they've had all night.
Right.
They're more likely to be the intended receiver, it appears in most cases, than the Cadets are anytime they throw down the field.
Right.
They're giving up that underneath stuff, that swing screens and bubble screens and slip screens that's out wide and only, inside of 5-6 yards downfield. But the deep stuff down the field, the Saints secondary has been all over.
Yeah, and yet those are the type of plays that they're going to have to at least try to attempt to make
they're going to get back
in this game.
Yeah, absolutely.
They've got to take some deep shots, just yet to find success in doing so. 3rd and 13 Cadets. Davis rolled out, got pressure, and the Saints get to him. Big sack in the backfield. A couple Saints converge on the play. It looked like Pisa
and Fabini, the two outside backers, converged on the quarterback in the middle. And, I think the Cadets, one area they're going to have to look at, they keep trying to throw down the field out wide. I think they've got to try to hit the Saints down the middle. That's kind of an area that, I don't want to say a weakness because it's certainly not, but they really haven't attempted to throw down the seams. They've thrown everything out wide when they've thrown down the field.
So it's going to be 4th and 25 for the Cadets. So they're, of course, going to go for it here, being down so much and deep in Dwenger territory, but they need to get all the way down to the 6-yard line. Davis, he's got pressure again, and he cannot escape. Back-to-back sacks for the Saints. This time
they came out with a corner blitz on 4th down, a corner blitz. You don't see that very often, and certainly Concordia wasn't expecting it. And Stauffer came in there untouched and got a sack to add to his resume when it's pretty rare to see a corner with a sack.
Yeah, well, and that's just what I was about to say. We usually see him making plays, down the sideline with interceptions and deflections, and that time a sack.
He was pretty excited. Normally when you come from the corner blitz, the coach says, you better get there. And he did.
He did. Davis rolled right in his direction, and he wrapped him up.
If you want to blitz, we'll let you blitz, but you better get there, and he certainly did.
Stauffer makes the play, and turnover on downs to the Saints. Here comes Lytle on a first down run, and he gets maybe a yard.
Yeah, I think that was kind of maybe a buck sweep, something of that nature, a quarterback run out to the short side of the field, but didn't really fool the Cadet defense.
Saints take over, up by 25 points here late in the 3rd. 1:37 to go. It's Dwenger on top 31-6, and you got to believe this might be the last series for the starting offense.
Yeah, at this rate, certainly.
Lytle's going to be in the shotgun, two receivers to the far side. Dwenger in no rush to get this snap off, ticking down to 5, 4, 3, and the snap. Here comes KJ Tittman. Nice job of patiently waiting for his blockers, and he picks up 6 yards on 2nd down.
Counter play, and they pulled KJ out there, and he was also behind number 57, Ben Tittman, was lead blocking from his guard position. Real nice looking run play there for the Saints.
That's going to give them a nice 3rd and short, 3rd and 3 at their own 45-yard line. We tick down to 40 seconds to go in this 3rd quarter.
They're in the Wildcat once again with KJ Tittman back deep.
Yep. KJ waits the snap. He's going to take it. This time he's taking it straight through the middle, and he gets up just enough for a first down. They needed 3. KJ got 4, and the Saints move the chains yet again.
Yeah, that's been effective, and they almost think that they could get in that Wildcat and just run it right down their throat, down the field if they wanted to, the way that they've been able to use it thus far.
Getting a good 4 to 5 yards a pop on that.
John Michael Fabini comes in when they go Wildcat and replaces Tittman at that H-back fullback position, so he gets a little offensive love and some lead blocking on the play.
And KJ really seeing the bulk of snaps at the starting running back position. We haven't seen much of Devin Tittman in the backfield tonight.
Yeah, it's good for those guys to get a blow.
Yeah. And with that, we tick down to the end of quarter number 3, and the Saints on top, 31-6 over the Cadets. We'll step aside. You're listening to high school football on RedeemerRadio.com. Welcome back, folks. We'd like to remind you Dr. Adam Osenga of Northeast Chiropractic Center is our 106.3 sports media sponsor. Follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram for all the scores, plays, and highlights. Plenty of Saints highlights tonight. Still tough to think of any that are going to top that Vinny Tittman rumble down midfield.
Vinny Fiacable.
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So 1st and 10 Saints. Quick inside handoff goes for a couple.
A wing counter play there given to KJ Tittman. And you mentioned, Eric, prior to the break about how many reps he's getting on offense at running back. It just makes Devin Tittman that much more fresh on defense. KJ doesn't play a lot of defense. It just, the ability to platoon those guys and give them a rest as often as they can. And KJ has run the ball hard.
Yeah.
He has done a nice job back there, and now he comes out, and Louis Tittman comes in.
2nd and 8 Saints. Here's a snap under center. And a nice little pickup there on 2nd down. Louis Tittman takes it up to the 45-yard line.
Yeah, it looked like number 5. That's Xavier Sheehan in there on the tackle for the Cadets, but not until he picks up about 5 or 6.
We saw KJ Tittman getting a lot of carries in the Northside game, and then Devin Tittman coming in late in the game. And just the ability to have multiple guys rotating in, and we call Devin the closer. Because he had fresh legs in the 4th quarter, and that's something that is just invaluable to an offense.
No doubt about it, but KJ has developed so well that there's not, quite honestly, a whole lot of difference anymore in their abilities between KJ and Devin. KJ's been developed at that position and has run the ball hard. I'm sure Devin would take umbrage with that statement, but but KJ has really developed, and there's not much drop-off, if any, anymore.
3rd and 4 Saints, Lytle under center as they wait on the play clock, ticking down to 5.
Exactly. Makes me excited.
There's a snap. Louis Tittman again through the middle. He does have enough for first down yardage. We do have a flag on the field.
The vaunted laundry on the field here.
But just think about it, Jeff. Wenger has shown you the wild.
And this one's going to come back.
Yeah, procedure.
You know, they showed you
So we're going to go from 3rd and 5 to 3rd and 10.
the I formation, a little bit of the pistol. Think of all the different formations that Bishop.
That wipes out another nice run by Louis Tittman. You know, Louis Tittman has, we've seen his carries decrease as we've seen KJ's increase. And you've got other capable guys like Dixon and Carey who've seen plays throughout the season as well.
You know, it's funny that you bring that up. I was looking at team stats earlier today for the Saints, and it's astounding to me. They have had 14 different players carry the football for the Saints this year. 14! And it makes our man Stats Thompson do a lot of typing over here.
We like to keep him busy. 3rd and 9 now. It's going to be a quick pitch to the running back. That's O'Keefe, and he is close to first down. Yes,
and
he
there's
does
your
have a
horse
first
collar.
down.
Horse collar tackle penalty on the end of that, it appears.
Tack that on. O'Keefe showing his speed yet again, coming across the pattern and down inside the 40-yard line for a first down.
Went with a little jet sweep. That's a pass, mind you, because he tossed it ahead of him, and some more passing yards. Quarterbacks love that play.
You know, you talk about 14 guys on this Dwenger offense carrying the football. You know, you're never going to see a Saint, or at least very rarely, finish among area leaders in rushing yards, and that's not a knock on the Saints' rushing offense.
Correct.
That is just a testament to how many guys they get in there, and you'll end up with, you know, a handful of guys getting a couple hundred yards over the course of a season.
Yeah, it's a little different philosophy than most.
Lytle looks to throw on this play, looking towards the sideline. Sioka cannot make it there on a diving attempt.
Yeah, chased out of there by number 60 of the Cadets. That's Isaiah Rusher. What a name for a defensive lineman, Rusher. He was rushing him on that play and made Brendan throw it a little sooner than he wanted to.
I might prefer Bubba Craig on the offensive line.
Yeah, I like Bubba. It's a good name. If you got a name like Bubba, you better be 6'8" and 340 like Bubba is.
He fills out the name nicely.
Yes.
2nd and 10 Saints off the incomplete pass. 9:40 to go in this ball game. Saints on top 31-6. Sioka across the pattern. Now inside handoff to Louis Tittman and pushing his way inside the 20 as another flag flies on the field.
Went with another counter play there. Had Jack Tittman out in front on a lead block, and I don't think the penalty was on Jack, but there is a personal foul face mask on Concordia.
Yeah.
Threw that one in there into the pile like it was going to be a block that came back maybe on a penalty on the Saints, but no, it's a face mask on the Cadets.
So Saints will march up after the penalty yardage. Just really impressive to see how the Saints have bounced back after the Homestead loss with two really impressive games, showing a lot of resiliency. And in fact, that was the virtue of the week for this Bishop Dwenger team. Coach Garrett gives them a different virtue to focus on each week, and this one, resiliency. We've certainly seen that these last couple of weeks, especially tonight.
No question about it. They, you mentioned they've bounced back. They have been locked in since Homestead.
Absolutely. On a mission. Here we see I formation. Handoff to Louis Tittman all the way through the pile and into the end zone for a Saints touchdown.
You spoke of it earlier, Eric. How many capable running backs do they have? And Louis did a great job right there, breaking 2 or 3 tackles on his way to the end zone to put another score up.
Wow. But if you're watching us on BD Media Productions, it almost looked like Louis Tittman was expecting another hit there in the secondary, and it just never came.
Yeah, he does a nice job of running through those arm tackles on his way to the end zone, and you know, like you said, just another capable running back that most other area schools would die to have one back to the depth chart like Dwenger has 4, 5, 6 guys.
Absolutely. Landed good on the PAT, and the Saints now lead 38-6 with 9:04 left in the ball game. We'll step aside. You're listening to High School Football on RedeemerRadio.com. Field, the Bishop Dwenger Saints on their way to victory tonight. They lead 38-6 here in the fourth quarter. 9:04 to go over the Concordia Cadets. It's really a game in which the Cadets hung with them, at least yardage-wise.
Yeah, statistically they did. But those two turnovers in the first half just killed them, and then they got behind the 8 ball, and the steamroll came a rolling.
Yep, that it did. Deland is going to kick this one away. Shorter kick. Johnson fields it at the 8-yard line. He's through the middle, again following his blockers. Now cuts it outside around the right, across the 30, 35, 40, cuts back inside. Midfield, 50, 40. He is not going to be beat. Cam Johnson returning this one 92 yards for a Cadet score.
Well, that'll get the Saints coaching staff on the edge of their seat there and their attention a little bit on the special teams miscue to allow them to run that back. That's a great run by Cam Johnson, and the thing that I like about his ability to break that is the way that he hits it full speed. There's no hesitation there. He's not looking for or concerned about any contact. He just hits it full speed and never takes his foot off the gas pedal.
Knows where he wants to go and does just that. Cam Johnson gets the Cadets on the board for the second time tonight. And it looks like their offense is on the field to go for 2 here.
Well, the Saints need something this week to work on. They'll work on that kick coverage unit.
They've cut down on the penalties this week.
They have.
Definitely not hurting them the way they did last week against Carroll. So the conversion attempt, it's going to be Davis looking to throw, and he's going to go down in the backfield. Saints got to him on the pressure, and the conversion no good.
John Michael Fabini in there off the edge, untouched. Time and time again, we see Bishop Dwenger opponents that have no answer for that edge pressure. You'd think that they haven't even watched film from the week before. It's amazing to me.
But, Corey, you've been a broken record on that, both in terms on defense with Fabini and Sioka on offense, 2 guys that you would think opponents would be keying in on, and yet they still continue to have success.
Yeah, I mean, that's a testament to those guys' ability level, obviously, because teams clearly are seeing them on film. They've got to be.
Yeah.
And they've got to be game planning for them, but those guys are still productive.
So the score remains 38-12 here. Bishop Dwenger on top of Carroll.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed with the Saints tonight. I'm impressed with their ability to come off a short week. I thought there would be a little bit of a big emotional win hangover, and there has been nothing of the sort. So, shout out to the Saints for the way they've come out tonight in a business-like approach and taking care of business.
Yep, on a short week, as you said. The Concordia defense, they're used to not giving up much points. 4 of their 5 opponents have been held to 1 score or less. Well, most they gave up was 27 against Snyder coming into this game, and Dwenger has given their defense a new high points allowed with 38.
Everything was set up for this to be a trap game, and the Saints had none of that.
Absolutely. Squib kick picked up at the 35-yard line and up to about the 38.
Adam Dumford gets an opportunity to carry the ball on that squib kick up on the 2nd or 3rd level of the kick return unit, so does a nice job of securing it for the Saints, and it looks like we're going to have the 2nd unit come in offensively now.
Yep. Bodie Dickerson, the sophomore quarterback, is going to be out there as the signal caller for the Saints as they lead by 26 points with 8:45 to go in the ballgame. We mentioned the defense. They'd allowed 40 points before tonight all season, 38 tonight to the Saints. Dickerson under center. Going to be a handoff and nice cut back through the middle.
Louis.
Yep, Louis Tittman on the carry. He's going to pick up about 5 yards on first down.
Does a nice job. Number 16, Cooper Harris in there for the Cadets on the tackle, but not until Louis is able to pick up almost 5.
2nd and 5 as the Saints keep the ball on the ground and keep the clock running.
Just rolls in another big bowling ball of a running back that runs you down. It's just exhausting.
It's been a full team effort tonight. Contributions across the board by the Saints as Dickerson comes out under center again on 2nd down. Here's a snap. A bit of a broken play as he struggles to get the ball to Tittman. He falls forward back to the line of scrimmage.
Ran a little counter play there, but looked like there was a little confusion in the backfield, as you mentioned, Eric, and picked up nothing on that particular play. It'll be 3rd and 5.5, it appears.
Another kid that you really liked and talked about in the preseason.
Clock now ticking down to 7:38 to go.
They're going to let Bodie put it in the air here?
We'll see.
On the clock here, Saints roll.
I think they might be content to keep it on the ground.
It appears.
It really doesn't look like the Saints are going to get tested very much.
Dickerson under center, and he's got a man in the backfield behind him.
Using all the play clock. Good job by Bodie on that.
This time the reverse handoff. It's going to be good for a first down.
That's wing counter, and something you don't see very often, but number 54, Joe Eddy on the carry. Defensive lineman Joe Eddy was playing the wing position, and they hand him the ball on the wing counter.
Is that a 15th ball carrier for the Saints?
It might be. It might be.
Unbelievable. And it looks like he's been running the rock for years.
Yeah. Stats Thompson's got to type in another number.
We said we like to keep him busy. So that is going to be a first down play for the Saints, and they are now across midfield at the Cadet 48-yard line, 1st and 10. And now we see the power I. Dickerson hands off this time to Louis Tittman. Gain of 2 yards on first down for the Saints.
So a little run over the left tackle there. Looked like 57 for the Concordia Cadets, and on that tackle, that's James Rusher once again. Sophomore for them. So, the Concordia Cadets, we were talking earlier about, I think they're still going to be a tough out in 3A.
Oh, yeah.
I think that they've got all the makings. You don't often see a 3A team with 22 seniors, and they are senior-laden, and I think they have a chance to make a real deep run in the tournament at the 3A level.
And not only seniors, but experienced seniors. You talked about a handful of guys there who have seen action in 3 or even 4 seasons.
Yeah, 4 seasons in Amir Drew and Brendan Davis at the quarterback position. So, yeah, they are a veteran group that, when they start playing schools their own size, they're going to be a handful.
Joe Eddy again on the carry, goes for 1 yard. Brings up 3rd and 7. Of course, the Saints next week on their schedule have Battle of the Bishops against the Bishop Luers Knights, and we'll be excited to bring that to you. Of course, it's part of rivalry week across the SAC. And the game headlining the SAC action will, of course, be Carroll Homestead. 3rd and 7. This time they'll keep it on the ground, and that time the Concordia defense upends Tittman. It's going to bring up 4th down.
Louis Tittman, and we can't just say Tittman anymore on the carry.
Well, Corey, I can when I don't see the numbers.
That's a great point. You're never wrong. You're very rarely wrong when you say Tittman on the carry.
Yeah.
And that was Louis. We've got Devin. We've got KJ. We've got a whole host of Tittman running backs. And, that's well said on your part.
When you got 15 Saints carrying the ball and 75% of them are Tittmans, I like my chances.
You're going to say Tittman, and you're going to make me clean up the rest.
4th and 4, and it's going to be a quick punt by Dickerson, and they might want to put him as full-time punter.
Look at that.
That one's going to trickle down to the 1-yard line.
Coach Manigault on the Concordia sidelines got to be saying to himself, are you kidding me? Their second unit is in, and the JV quarterback kicks it, punts it, pooches it down to the 1. I mean, it's not our night. Not our night.
And it not only stopped at the 1, but, it had a nice roll. It was towards the corner.
Yeah.
You couldn't really do it much better than that.
He's probably ready to start the bus and go home.
Well, the Cadets will take over with 4:23, and they're going to be at their own 1.5-yard line. Still their starting offensive crew out there with the ball. And Davis is going to be lined up about 3 yards deep in his own end zone. 1st and 10 Cadets.
Saints have some new clean jerseys in on the defense.
Yeah.
It's an area of the game where Coach Manigault, in all seriousness, he wants to see a little positive positive momentum here offensively. Still got his starters in. He wants them to finish this game off in a positive fashion, have a decent taste in his mouth heading into next week.
Pickup of 2 yards for Amir Drew on that play. And reminder, folks, that it's an exciting time at Redeemer Radio with our Tune In for All In fundraiser. We'll tell you a little bit more about that after this play. 2nd and 8, Davis in the shotgun. Got 2 receivers out to each side. It's going to be another handoff for Amir Drew, this time making his way up to about the 8-yard line. So our fundraiser, Tune In for All In, has kicked off. It runs through Monday. So you can become a part of our mission to evangelize today. Donate by calling or texting the Holy Cross College text line. That's 260-436-9598. Or go to redeemerradio.com.
Saints running players in and out on the sidelines here defensively. They've got looks like a pretty young group in there right now. Great opportunity for them to gain some varsity experience.
Be 3rd and 3 Cadets. And Davis looks to throw, fires across the middle and through the hands of Scotty Van Landingham, incomplete.
It's kind of what happens when things aren't going your way and everybody's kind of hanging their head and you have the ball go right through your hands. It's just a culmination of a tough evening.
Yep, would have been first down yardage, but instead the Cadets will send a punting unit out. And it looks back to receive for the Saints. Looks like Teddy Steele and trying to get the number on the other.
20.
Yeah, Noah Johnson.
All right, haven't seen Noah carry the ball.
And this one looks like will not be returned. It's going to go out of bounds up near the 30-yard line. We'll see where they spot the ball. And we'll call it the 31. Saints take over on the 31-yard line, well on their way to victory here. 2:48 to go. And if you are a Saint player, you know the mantra: gracious in victory, humble in defeat. So after the game, they're going to be praying a glory be, Corey.
It's just what they do. It's been a part of the program, a tradition of the program for decades that they do those things, and that's really the heart of the program, if you will.
Absolutely.
How cool is that for the program?
1st and 10 as Dickerson directs some traffic. And he's going to hand this one off. Looking for the edge. We have got a flag on the play, and taken down behind the line of scrimmage is Louis Tittman.
It's a new tradition before the game, Eric, that I hadn't seen before. The players came out, and actually it was prior to your arrival, I might add.
Okay.
But nonetheless, the players came out prior to Stephen starting pregame, and they went down into the south end zone, and there's a brand new cross out there.
Yeah, brand new this season.
It's beautiful.
Absolutely.
And beyond the field, and the players all came out there one by one on their own and knelt down and prayed. And it was something I hadn't seen before, but I think it's a fantastic tradition.
Absolutely.
And it really was powerful watching it happen for the first time.
Well, faith is on display. It's so central to everything this program does. And, you see them praying before the game, after the game, and just to have faith on display for not only your own players, but for everyone to see. Anyone that comes to the game, you can't miss a large crucifix there at the south end of the end zone.
Yeah, it's some, or right on the 50-yard line, for that matter, right in between the B and the D. So, it's on display, and that's the heart of the program.
1st and 10 Saints. It's going to be Dickerson on a quarterback keeper around the right side. He's going to get popped at the line.
Welcome to varsity football, Bodie Dickerson. And number 40 for the Cadets, Matt Gagline, was there to welcome him in. And Bodie gets off, dusts himself off, puts his jersey back over his pads, and runs over to the sideline to get the next play. I like how he bounced up.
Yeah, well, and I also like the sportsmanship there from Gagline, who, after popping him down, helps him up and gives him a pat on the shoulder.
That's a great point.
2nd and 10. Dickerson taken down at the line of scrimmage. Down to 1:40 and running for the Saints.
In the books, but if that guy goes away, it could be Deuce over.
Under center. Counter play, and that one as well. Matt Gagline is there to usher another player to the turf.
Stats Thompson, that was Sam Zerbick, number 41. Sam Zerbick on the carry there, and that's got to be 15 or 16 running backs now on the carry this season.
Boom!
It's going to bring up a 3rd and long for the Saints.
They are emptying the bench at this point, and Aziz Dixon in the backfield currently.
Yep. And we've seen Dixon get some meaningful carries throughout the early portion of this season as well.
I like his game. He's got a real future for the Saints.
Yeah. That time sidesteps his way for a gain of about 1. And it looks like the Saints will just have to hike the ball one more time. 35 seconds to go and counting.
Everybody kind of held serve tonight. Dwanger was
Hugs on the sideline. Congratulatory high fives as this Saints squad is going to march their way to victory here.
On homecoming, National Guard night, a lot of things happening down there, and Saints were able to keep their focus and take care of business. Very business-like approach tonight.
Absolutely. 5 seconds left, and the Saints are going to snap this one away. 4th down. Dickerson's just going to run to the sideline and let the clock run out, and then get rid of the football. And that's how things are going to end here at Shields Field. 38-12 is your final as the players approach midfield, and as is customary in 2020, we see the teams taking off their helmets and holding them out to the opposing sideline as a salute for a job well done. We'll step aside, be back to wrap things up for Bishop Dwenger High School. You're listening to High School Football on RedeemerRadio.com. Welcome back, folks. There's no secret that Notre Dame Federal Credit Union is a huge supporter of Redeemer Radio. It's a great partnership. Tonight, Notre Dame FCU would like to challenge more people and businesses to do the same.
Oh, does he?
Just call Tricia Benzing at the station to get more info on you too can become an on-air underwriter of Redeemer Radio 106.3 FM. Call Tricia today or visit RedeemerRadio.com. That's NDFCU. So with that, folks, we welcome you to our post-game show. Bishop Dwenger coming out on the victorious side tonight, 38-12 over the Concordia Cadets. So as Kevin Thompson assembles some final stats, we'd like to check in one last time with Nick Gray, who's got some final updates. Nick, what do you have?
Well, guys, I'm down here celebrating with some of the Dwenger fans.
Man, we can hear that.
Yeah, what a night. Anyhow, Bishop Brewers over in Northrop. Brewers did come back and was leading for a little while, but then Northrop kind of turned it on. They're up 28-19. That's near the end of the game. Homestead's going to beat Northside 56-28. Snyder's leading that matchup 35-6. Carroll did beat Southside 66-0. Really other interesting one, New Haven probably going to lose to Columbia City. Columbia City's winning right now 35-18. Woodland at Jay County, that one got a little close. Woodland did end up winning 22-20. So that's what we got, and good night. Good job tonight, guys. Back up to you.
Same to you, Nick. Thank you. All right, so The Saints coming out on top 38-12, and Corey, just really an all-around nice performance by the Saints as we continue to see them round into mid-season, late-season form and a multifaceted, multi-dimensional offense that can do a lot. They can run, they can pass, and everything is developing just how the offense would like to see.
No question.